Yeah, we're just going to focus on that next one first of all. And, I think start is important, but I think just consistency throughout the game is going to be really important. When you go on the road, all you have is you. And I think I like our matchup against Oklahoma State at certain positions, especially in the post. I like our depth, and I like our experience level in the post going against them. So in terms of the start, I think we can't get too high or too low. It would be great to come out of the gates really strong in terms of our effort, energy, defensive game plan. Things like that are going to be real important on the road.
Coach, how do you build confidence in these players? Because there's no doubt that this team has a confidence they didn't have last year, and that's showing on the court.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, confidence can be kind of tricky, but I'm kind of old school, my mindset on confidence. I think that you can help grow confidence as a leader, as a head coach, and as coaches. But I think confidence comes from performance, and high-level performance and success performing comes from what are you doing when no one's around, and the time that you're putting in the gym on your own, and the skill set development and things like that. So I think the simple fact that we're winning these games last night, pulling off a very close game at home, good test for us in terms of our toughness, I think that naturally builds confidence.
Help you throughout the season where you can have a close game and kind of use that, but specifically when to get a winning streak going, how does that really help you from winning this last game and to continue it through the next few games?
Well, it's really big. Momentum's a good word, and it's key. And, it feels much better to come in here and practice today after that win and to get after it. And I think it makes them more excited to go get the next one. And, our challenge is, okay, now we've achieved what we achieved last year again. We surpassed our win total non-conference in all of last year. Now we got that one win, which matches all of last year in the Big 12. So we had to make sure that we stay very focused on, we're about much bigger things and much more advancement than that. And at the end of the day, you're measured on the wins and losses. And we talk about in the locker room, nobody cares about your story unless you win, so just win. And it's going to be real important that we take advantage of opportunities in games that we have good matchups this year as we're working on our progression and development as well, that we take advantage of those.
Just with the level of physicality that exists in the Big 12 play, especially inside with a lot of these post players and some of these teams, what are the conversations like with Brittany and Aaron, just challenging them to really step up and to stay out of foul trouble, but also to just be efficient inside?
Yeah, it's a constant with us. It's one of the advantages that we have against a lot of Big 12 teams is Brittany and Aaron and what they bring to the table. They're going to go against a freshman post player that's 6'3". They're going to have a size advantage and an experience advantage. They're going to continue to be crucial as we advance. They've got to do things for us defensively. I thought that happened last night. I thought Aaron made some big plays down the stretch in the last couple of minutes there defensively. So defensively and offensively, it's going to be real key that they play as the juniors that they are and be solid for us and also get us points at the basket.
And how important will a physical defensive play be for you guys up against Braxton Miller, who, as we had talked about with the players, is just a really physical player. She's really good, and she knows how to score the basketball.
Yes, she does. We're real familiar as a staff with her. A kid out of Ohio that we had our eyes on many years ago. She's talented. She brings versatility in scoring, and she's shooting the three ball exceptionally well. So she's someone that you definitely have to pay attention to. And the physicality piece is going to be a constant as we move through Big 12 play. I thought that we handled it well. Kansas is known as a defensive team. They get up and guard as hard as anybody in the conference, probably them and West Virginia. So, we just went through it last night and had to handle it, especially at the guard position. Oklahoma State plays a little bit more containment style defense, but nonetheless, you're going against big physical guards night in and night out, and I like our growth and development in that area. I thought CC handled it well. They took some things away from her early in the game, and I thought she adjusted and handled it much better in the second half, but that's going to be a constant.
Are there any other matchup concerns you have going into Saturday?
Yeah, well, the thing with Oklahoma State is that they have the ability to shoot from the three-point line at four positions. Kansas posed that same kind of challenge, but the difference with Kansas, they put the ball on the floor a little bit more than Oklahoma State does. But when you have four players on the perimeter that can shoot the three ball as well as they're shooting it, you're usually always in a game. You can get rid of a deficit very quickly. So I like our speed against them. That's one of the things that our guard speed, our perimeter speed, transition opportunities, things of that nature are what we're going to focus on in our inside play.
Coach, you've had NCAA tournament winning games. You've had monumental wins in your career. What did last night's win for you mean to you? I saw a video after the game. You were celebrating with the team, about as happy as I think I've ever seen you. What did that mean for you?
Yeah, I'm not like I am on the sideline all the time. But, I'm just big on the team enjoying moments. We're on to the next game. And what I've learned in my career, it's my 19th year of doing this, is that take a little bit of time and enjoy those moments, celebrate those moments. You work so hard for them. And I was just so proud and happy for them because they worked really hard. And, heartbreaker at Oklahoma, and they came back, they learned from it, and they got the win here at home. So I was just so happy for them. And we do a lot of reward celebration type stuff after wins, because I think it's so important, especially with today's kids, that we balance that part out.
Coach, you kind of mentioned it, but what did you take away from the Oklahoma game, and what were some of the either teaching points or learning lessons that maybe you kind of talked to the girls about last night, especially in a close game like that was kind of like Oklahoma?
Yeah, it was real simple for us. It was obviously Oklahoma was the last 4 minutes. So every timeout, every reminder I had an opportunity to remind them of in that second half was, remember Oklahoma, did we learn from that or did we not learn from that? We've got to stay very even keel, and we've got to stay tough. We've got to finish the game. Every single possession, we've got to finish the game. We've got to be the toughest team right now, getting balls, getting rebounds, getting stops. And we just kept preaching that in every single moment that we had, and they really responded to that. And that's the big takeaway, is because we didn't stay where we were in a game that we had a chance to win. We actually finished it off.
Coach, I'm not sure exactly what she's able to do right now, but just being able to sign Lexi and having her actually be here, I'm not sure when she's going to be able to kind of start getting into practice, but what kind of experience does she bring just coming from a team that's an elite program, obviously, like UConn, and just what she's going to be able to kind of do, having, another body to go up against in practice at least?
Yes, we're waiting for her to finish all final paperwork to be out on the court for us in practice, and you'll eventually see her sitting on the bench at home games. And I think with her, we're going to look for her to lead immediately with her voice, with her play and practices on the scout team. And we have a pretty doggone good scout team here pretty soon. You come and watch us practice. We're going to have 4 players that will contend for starting positions next year on our scout team here in a couple of days. So I think it's good for them to mesh and get together. But for her specifically, is we want her to lead immediately, and we don't want her to take a back seat to anybody. We want her to bring her experience from being at a number 1 program in the nation, having been at 2 Final Fours, and bring that into our team and help educate them and bring them along, because, hey, that's where we want to be one day, and here's somebody who's already been there and done that. So I think she brings a high level of basketball IQ to our team as well.
I feel like this is something that will prepare us for later down the road, especially during postseason. Obviously, we've had 3 games in 7 days. That's tough. But at the same time, you have to grind it out, because come March Madness, you'll play, get ready for a team play again. So I feel like this is great preparation for what's to come in the future.
Yeah, I think it's going to be huge for us. I think going into an arena with different fans that are not necessarily cheering for us, I think that's going to be huge for us. I think we're going to have to rally together and just play for each other, and we're going to have to, bring our own crowd from our bench and cheer for each other.
When you have so many teams in the Big 12 that are kind of just right there together, and they're 1-2 or 2-1, what is it going to take? What's that extra edge that you guys need to find in that sort of next gear that's going to be able to separate yourselves from some of those other teams?
I think, just like Coach said, the toughness piece of it and being able to grind out games. Yesterday wasn't our best game. It wasn't our prettiest game, but it was a win. It was an ugly win, and that's what it's going to take. So we're just going to have to tough it out down the stretch and just make plays.
This is for both of you. Yesterday we talked about how free throws were kind of the little thing that won you guys yesterday. And what are some of those other little things that you're personally or as a team working on to get more Big 12 wins down the road?
To emphasize off of what Sydney said is toughness. One thing that we really want to focus on as well is loose balls. We want to be able to show grit for 40 minutes plus, and the little things are what matters, because it comes down to those things. Free throws, who was better at the line, who was getting to loose balls, who was giving more energy coming off the bench. A lot of the small things go into play when it comes to a win. So I would say all those things totaling up to who wants it more in the end.
Zuri, how much does confidence play in how you guys are approaching Big 12 play now? Because from last year, I mean, this year, you're in games that you weren't even close to being in last year. So that has to be a factor that when you go out there, you know you can compete with the best now.
Yeah, confidence plays a big role. I feel like going out there knowing that you have the same skill set as other players, because the Big 12, it's tough. You have girls that are not just great at the guard aspect of the game, but also when it comes to post players. And I feel like you have to have confidence in order to become successful on the court. So you can't just go into a game being nervous, being scared. And that's something that we talk about in practice. Coach always tries to push us to the next level, saying that you guys cannot be scared. You shouldn't be players that are scared to play other teams. And when you go into games feeling that way, you're obviously not going to come out with the outcome that you want.
I don't know how much film you guys have had an opportunity to watch, but when you watch a player like Braxton Miller, who obviously has a lot of potential to be able to score the basketball and almost had 20 points against a team like Texas, what do you like just about her and sort of that matchup?
Yeah, Braxton Miller she's a great player. Every year you see her getting a lot better. And she definitely is someone that plays with confidence and evolves every year. So she's a very tough competitor, and I love playing against her because she makes us better as well. So I'm excited to see what she brings to the table on Saturday.